Hey everyone, welcome back to your quilting journey. Today we're going to do a free live kids class. So I have my two little kiddos. We have Ezra and Selah. And what grade are you guys in?
I'm in 6th and I'm in 5th.
Yep. And Selah has done a little bit of sewing with me, and Ezra has done a little bit too. So we're going to see how much they remember from the last time that they've sewn and go over everything that you need to know about the sewing machine to get you started with this. We'll do more in-depth classes at a later date, but today it's just going to be a fun one on how to make a pillowcase. So, Ezra, what kind of things do you like to do?
I like building Legos, playing on my video game, and watching Star Wars.
Yeah, cool. And you, Selah?
I like playing on my iPad, also playing Legos, sleeping.
And sleeping. She's a girl after my heart. Okay, so I'm going to flip you around here. And now we're looking at my little brother machine. So these little machines are very inexpensive. They're very easy to use. We have an Amazon link to them on our website, journeybackquilts.com/shops, and then scroll down to the bottom. You'll see an Amazon link to get one of these. So they're very child-friendly too. I would definitely recommend just a kind of a, I can't think of the word. Anyway, if you are going to let your child do this on their own, I would recommend they be at least 10 and older, depending on their maturity. So just that little disclaimer. That's the word I was thinking of. So, okay. So the first thing is this term right here. Do you remember what this is called, Selah?
The foot?
The foot, good. And the foot gets lowered with this little bar right here. That goes up and down. It will not go forward if you don't have your foot down. So we want to have that foot down, okay? And then this button here, you want to push that, Ezra? That lowers your needle, and then push it again, and it raises the needle. And you can also do that with the, we'll call it the spinny wheel for kids, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that helps lower the needle down into the machine to grab the bobbin thread. And you can't sew if you don't have bobbin thread in here, and you can't sew if you don't have thread up here. So the thread is already threaded, and we'll do that in another video. My tension's set at 4. That's just kind of the normal mid-range for tension. We'll talk about that another day too. And then my stitch is 0-1, and that over here translates to the middle stitch. Okay, so you want to make sure you have the right stitch on here for when you want to sew. There's lots of different stitches on this machine. You can do buttons on this machine and different designs. Of course, your zigzags and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm going to have my kids do is sew on a piece of paper. So I will put these in the comments after we're done. So I have a zigzag piece of paper and a circle and a swirly for them to sew on. Now this probably will dull the needle, so you might want to change your needle after you've done some sewing on your paper. But the first thing you're going to do, Ezra, you want to lower the needle. Oh, one more time. There we go. And then you're going to put your foot down, and we're going to follow this line. So actually you're going to put your foot up, and I'm going to show you. So on the floor is the pedal, and that is how you get the machine to go. So we're going to start with the speed pretty low so you get used to it first. And we're just going to follow that line. Once it gets to the edge of that point, you're going to stop, keep your needle down, but lift the foot up, rotate the block, the piece of paper, and then put your foot back down as you go again. Okay? And then as you get comfortable, you can increase your speed. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
All right, Sayla. Show us how you do it. That's right. You can go ahead and start on yours if you want to. Ooh, speed demon. Perch. Lift the foot. Yep. Spin it. Put it back down. That's fun, huh?
Yeah.
After you do one row of those, then you can switch papers and do a different paper. What do you think, Ez? Is that pretty easy?
Yeah. Wait. Oh.
Yep, keep your needle down.
Rotate.
Mm-hmm.
Rotate. And put your foot down and go.
There you go. Spin it that way.
The sewing machine just go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just found these designs through clip art. Just kind of search for zigzag and circles and swirls. So you can print out pretty much any shape you want to practice on. Okay, don't go too fast. Yep, the machine will yell at you if you don't put it down.
Whoa, that's really high. That's really fast.
Now, can you feel how the paper is moving all by itself through the machine?
Yes.
You don't have to push it at all, do you?
Nope.
You're just guiding it to make sure it stays on the line. Okay, slow down, Speed Demon.
Going on medium.
And you can slow down with just your pedal if you just don't push your pedal so hard.
Can I do the whole piece of paper?
Why don't you try the circle next?
Okay. Lift the foot up.
Yep,
The needle.
right. Pull it out and then clip your threads.
And fold up.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how to do that.
Yep, good job. And you do want to clip it so that the threads are staying under the foot and they stay to the back of the foot. Whoop, can you grab that thread?
Like, go like that.
Mm-hmm, but it's going to go under your foot.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. If you keep your threads back behind there like that, then it won't come unthreaded as easily. If you clip them from up here, then it might pop out of your needle.
And that's a real pain to thread it.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to get practice doing that another day. Okay, lower your foot.
Right in the needle?
Sure.
And do I just snip it with these?
Yep, so you're going to pull it, hold on. Pull your piece of paper out all the way over to the left. Yep. And then clip it close to your paper.
This circle's easy.
Sorry, my filming skills while we're doing this is probably shaky.
That's what I did.
Good job. Okay, you want to try the circle?
Yeah, let's go. Not this world. We're going to do the circle. Circle. I went out of the circle.
So actually you want to start on this side of your circle so that most of your circle is on the table instead of underneath. Go slower. Good job. See if you can stay right on that line.
I kind of went over, so I just jumped it.
Whoops. Pull it out a little bit more, that way you have some more thread tails. And then clip it close to your paper.
Good.
So just to get your kids to practice sewing, this is a great activity for them to do. They get the feel for how the machine works and get comfortable with it without ruining some expensive fabric or even cheap fabric. It's just a little easier to maneuver paper than to maneuver the fabric. Good job. And if you see Sayla's hands, she's doing a really good job guiding that paper with just her fingertips and letting the machine do the work.
Oh, I did my circle on the whole thing.
Good job. Try your swirl now.
See, it keeps getting out.
Oh.
That's how I had to jump it.
Well, just leave it on there and then move it as you sew back to it.
I'll do it.
Okay. And if you use a contrasting thread, like we have a kind of a light beige color on here, then you can really see where your sewing marks are going. Push it under there a little more. There you go.
No, that's it.
Slow down there a bit, Ezra. Mr. Speed Demon. Speedy Gonzalez. Okay, hold on. Why don't you put your hands on the paper like that, and then just gently let it swirl with your fingertips, okay?
Oh, poop.
There you go. Keep pushing it under there.
This one did not turn out so good.
Those of us just joining, we have some printed pieces of paper with different shapes on them that we're practicing sewing on. We're doing a little kid class here, or a learn to sew class. If you've never learned how to sew, this is a great way to practice. So Ezra's sewing up his swirl.
I had to jump again.
Oops. Do you want to do another one?
Sure.
There's more upstairs on my studio table. Good job, Ezra.
I'm going to do more swirl.
Okay.
I'm going to do one more swirl, and then I'm going to do more zigzag.
Ezra's making his own swirl now. Woohoo!
Yeah, I might do that on the back. Wait, there's no back. It's not coloring.
Now pull it out that way. Yep. Good job.
And snip it.
Yep. Awesome. Do you want to do another piece of paper, Ezra, or are you ready to move on to your fabric?
Move on.
Move on, move on.
I think he just wants to get it done. No. We'll learn for life, not just to get it done.
Right. Our mantra with our school is learning for life, not just to get it done. So that's what Ezra just said. Good job, buddy. All right, so let's show everybody the fabric you chose. Dark blue. So I pre-cut these for them and pre-ironed it, so they are just going to get to do the fun part of sewing. So we have an 18 by 18 inch square, and that's the top. Since his is a solid, there's not a wrong or a right side, which makes it a lot easier for kids too. They don't have to accidentally sew it the wrong way. And then the back panels are 11.5 to 12.5 inches by 18 inches. And then I just ironed over a little bit of a flap, about 1/2 inch for him. And he's going to sew that part down first as the hem on both of them. So there's 2 hems here. Sorry, my camera and juggling this. And then he's going to put them together so that he has an opening in the back of his quilt, or his pillow. I'm used to saying quilt. It'll be super easy and fun. He just has to sew around in a box. Excuse Macy. She's down here too, helping us. Silly girl. Doing another zigzag now? Okay.
Yeah, I like zigzag. I love going fast. I like zigzag. It's easy. And fun. Speed demon. Just yeah, it's so easy when you're going fast. Then it's like this. Yeah, I'm not following the lines.
Nope. Oops.
As you can see with my other ones.
Yep.
And that was my second one. This is my first one.
Uh-huh.
I had to skip that.
Yep. It's good practice, though. Practice makes progress.
That's her.
Remember to lift your foot when you turn it.
Oh, poop. Yeah. I don't follow the rules. You need to.
Try to follow the line.
No.
Here is the fabric that Selah chose. Cute birds.
You need to put these together, right? Are these backwards already?
Yep, but you're going to do your hem first. So, yep, turn it around. That way most of your fabric is over here on the left. And then you're going to put your needle, first you're going to, okay, here. Let's see if I can juggle the camera and this at the same time. So this line here on the side, just your foot, you're going to try to line up the edge with that. And then that way you'll sew a straight line. Okay, so it's right on the edge of that. All right, so try to follow that edge. Go slow enough so you're not... You can probably do medium. And just keep watching about right here. You're doing a really good job. If you watch the needle, sometimes you'll get your block off. So scoot it over just a touch more. Yep. Great job. Okay, hold up just a second. So you have a thread just sitting right here. It's just help wrinkling your fabric. So we're just going to get it out of the way. Okay. Yeah.
Come on. Rachel Ann. Aunt Rachel.
Mommy Rachel to you.
She's the Aunt Rachel star.
Great job.
Work for me.
Right. The machine's doing most of the work for you, huh? Yeah.
It's like driving a
I think you
car.
were at a good pace before. Yep.
You can get clumsy when you go fast.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay when you're practicing.
You can probably push the pedal just a little more.
I am.
Mm.
So sweet. I'm finished practicing.
Good job. Yep, perfect. You've watched me enough, huh?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
So
take it off, clip it close to fabric, and then do the other side. All right, say.
Right?
Yep, the other one.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to do this hem that we have already ironed over for you. So,
You just sew this part of it flat?
yep, you're just going to put that part under your needle and line up the edge of your piece to the edge of your foot right here. Yep, good job.
Forgetting the buttons. Okay, you go way faster.
Yeah, a little bit. Now maybe a little slower so that you keep your fabric against the edge here. See how you're coming off a little bit? So just scoot it back over a little more. There you go. Good job.
My chair over.
If you're just joining us, Selah and Ezra are making a pillowcase with an open back to be able to stick the pillow form inside. So they're hemming up the sleeves of the pillow, or the pockets of it.
And then do you go backwards? Is this how you do backwards?
You can if you want to.
I want to. See, I know some.
Yes, you do. Good job. And then do your other one.
I made 3 pillows before.
You've made 3 pillows before?
Where did my clippy go? This is my 3rd one.
That's your 3rd one?
Where did my clippy go?
I don't think you've made one like this before, though, have you?
No. I made a Star Wars one and a little tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't bread.
If it does, we can rethread it. Yep.
This bird just wants to curl.
Ready to do your other side?
Yeah. I did it. I did both of them.
Good job.
The only hard thing is trying to get your hand back without messing it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Take some practice, and you can always stop, adjust your hands, and then keep going.
So does this sleeve part go in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside and we'll line this up.
You running off the edge?
I get on track, little meaty. I'm gonna name you Nellie. Nellie the Needle. Nellie the Needle.
Do you want to pin those so that they stay, Ezra? No? You're going to just try to eyeball it?
Uh-huh.
I have those other little clippy thingies to hold them too if you want those instead of a needle. No? Okay. So you need to put both of them on at the same time.
Really?
Uh-huh.
How do I do
I mean, you could just sew the one if you want to.
for right now?
Sure.
Okay. How do I put these together?
Okay, you're going to put them right sides together since yours has a pattern.
Like this?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or
And
does the
right.
ends-
Yep, goes on the inside. So this is going to match up
Yeah.
with this point.
I'm gonna do one like as rest because I just think it got be easier.
Okay.
But yeah, you make it perfect.
Macy May.
Oh, come on. Nico.
Why don't you just line up one edge and then start with that. And then once you're past that point, then you can fix the next edge. Okay? Turn it around. Yep.
Oh, come on. My friend just like jumping. No. I think I don't need to do that.
I think you're doing really good. So you're just going to line up these two together. And then you're going to start here and you're just going to sew this part down first. Okay? And then you can sew that part and just leave this part open. Okay?
I don't think.
And if it doesn't match up exactly, it's okay. But you're pretty close. You can kind of go like this and just kind of pet it to go back in place.
Okay.
Do you want to pin it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, open those pins. Just on the corner. There you go.
I thought they were like that.
Do you remember how to pin, or you want me to show you again?
I can just do this.
Mm-hmm. Or you're going to go through it twice. So here, hold the camera for me. Okay, so I'm going to go right here in the corner. So we're going to go right here and then through it again.
Okay.
Okay? And then we can do this corner here. So I'm going through both layers of fabric
Mm-hmm.
and then back through, but trying to keep the fabric as flat as possible.
Okay.
Okay? So you do these two corners.
These two?
Mm-hmm. Now you'll just want to be careful with them while you're sewing that they don't poke or scratch you.
Because they are meanos.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And the other thing is you don't want to sew the pin in there. So you want to pull them out before you start.
Oh, this one's heavier.
Mm-hmm. Right. You're doing great though. Once you get down to the corner, stop, keep your needle down, and then just rotate it.
It's getting out of straightness. Is that okay?
Yep, just restack it and make sure it's lined back up.
I see
How's it going?
done.
Good job.
It's fine.
Did you just turn the corners as you came to them?
No.
You stopped and...
stopped, I lifted it.
Okay.
Turned it. Like, with the zigzags.
Just like the zigzags, you left the needle down and then turned it?
Yes.
That's what I meant. Good job. Okay. Put the next layer on.
Yes. It's okay. He's gonna get his surprise.
And you want the... Let's see. Let's make sure you have that on there, right? Okay, so you probably wanted to sew this the other way, because when you turn it inside out, this is going to be what's showing here.
Oh, I asked you that.
But that's okay. Let's put that one on, because this one might hide underneath it anyway.
Okay, like this.
Uh-huh. So, yep. So our raw edges are on the outside. The good edges are on the inside.
It's raw! It's raw.
And then make sure they're stacked up again. So we might need to scoot it this way a little more. A little more. There you go. Mm-hmm.
Mom,
Mhm.
do you just sew behind the already sewn thing, like beside it, or are we done once we like reach right here?
Yep, you can be done once you reach right there.
Well, did you already put one needle in here?
Mm-hmm.
Good, because I'm like, where did one needle go?
So just sew to the very edge of that.
And I can just go on top of it?
Uh-huh. And then maybe back it up 1 or 2 stitches. Yep.
I'm making it
And then take it off.
Okay, now what do we do?
Now we're going to put the other side on. So since you haven't sewn this edge here yet, you're going to catch that with this one. Okay? So just stack those. Uh-huh.
That.
Right?
Okay, I need to remember this is right there. Keep that one straight.
Sounds good.
I talked to myself.
We all do when we're thinking and crafting something.
I don't think Ezra does. Yeah, I do.
Let me hold it.
Yes, please. Okay. And then I need that. It's like, this one's too big on like this.
It's supposed to be.
Oh.
Yep, they're going to overlap each other.
Okay, I need to put it right here.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Stick.
It's not going anywhere.
Pick it up. Beep, beep, beep. Pick up truck. Big truck. Get down, foot. You just stomped on my foot. Put down the foot. I put down my foot. Not going. So you start like right where you started. This.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then go like that, and then like that. So you end like this.
Actually start where you ended.
Okay, this.
Uh-huh.
And do that.
Yep. That way all the fabric is to the left of the machine.
Okay, do I need to put the thread on top of the fabric?
Mm-hmm. You're all right. You're just going over your seam. So it's going to make a little noise because it's got a lot of bulk to go through. So now before you take it off, yep, exactly. Good job. You knew what I was going to say. Up there. Okay. Moment of truth.
It's scary. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. This side, then this side.
And and you can stick your hand inside and use your finger to push it out. It's a lot easier if you put your finger inside and push it out. Oh, bummer. That's okay. You can barely tell it anyways. And now you've learned, huh?
Yeah.
You have to have it the other way.
This way first, right?
Yep.
Put my pillowcase on. Other end. I'm gonna sew the needle in with it. Yay!
Now you've got a little couch pillow or a pillow for your bed.
Mhm.
Sweet.
Ton of thread.
That's okay. Clip it all. Now the pillow forms we're using, they said they're 18 inches on, we got these on Amazon, but they are a little bit small, or they're just not as stuffed as much, so they fit just fine even with these seam allowances. They might even be a little small still, huh? So you might want to cut your fabric 16 inches by 16 inches for this kind of a pillow, but it depends on how fluffy your pillow is. Show us.
Fluffy.
Oh, it looks great, Ezra. Great job. Time to take a nap.
Now it's time to take a nap. Now where's the hole?
Right in the back.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
cool. I was not expecting that.
You weren't.
No.
You're the one sewing it. So stick your fingers inside and push the corners out.
I honestly was not ready for that.
That's a pretty pillow.
Yes, it is. And it's just
Goes with your room perfect.
no parents. Darkness. No parents.
What's that on?
Oh,
Batman?
Lego movie. The
Lego Batman?
No, it's not. It's
Oh.
on the Lego movie.
Oh, the Lego movie.
I don't want to stuff it like so good as that.
You gotta see what your pillow looks like in it.
Never. It looks the same as the pillow. No. Mine matches my curtains.
Yeah, they
That's why I
do.
picked it out.
Good
I
job.
like this one because it's like matches the sea.
Mm-hmm. Sayla has a mermaid room, so it kind of looks like the beach with those birds flying and the clouds. Pretty clouds.
Yeah, I think that's like the water or something. Clouds reflecting on the water.
Oh,
'cause
could
look
be.
at how shiny it is.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you're as stubborn as me. Don't pillow scissors. Yay, let's play with scissors.
Fluff it out. It'll squish in there better as you use it. Good job, you guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Stay tuned for next week. We'll do another kid video. We're going to try Saturdays at 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So thanks so much for joining us and making these fun pillows. Have a good weekend.